Isaiah, I've been watching Isaiah for a while, man, and I've been observing his LeBron lover ways ever since I used to see him comment on Truth videos. And the truth always destroys him, by the way. And he did a video talking about how Michael Jordan's legacy is overrated, despite the fact that he admits that Michael Jordan is the greatest player of all time. But I don't want to sound repetitive. So I started doing videos and I keep repeating the same things over and over about Jordan, proving why Jordan's better than LeBron. And it can become boring to you. So I said, no, I don't want to do that video. So someone told me about a video that he just did, making excuse after excuse as to why LeBron had a historically awful NBA Finals performance against the Dallas Mavericks. And I feel like I want to counter those weak arguments that he made. Well, really one weak argument. I remember someone said I'm a LeBron hater. You know what I'm saying? To one person, I'm a LeBron lover. Then I could be a LeBron hater, a Jordan jocker, a Hakeem hater, which is ridiculous because I think Hakeem Olajuwon is the most skilled center of all time. But if you say anything negative about any player, then all of a sudden you're turned to a hater. You know what I mean? But let those guys, I could be whoever I want to those guys. You guys listen to me. You guys have heard my videos. You know where I stand on certain issues. So when it comes to haters, fuck them. Fuck them. Fuck them. Fuck them up against the wall with handcuffs on and crackers on their lips. Think about it, man. That's kind of gay for Burner to say that shit, won't it? But anyway, go on to the video that Isaiah made. His excuse is that the media and the pressure from the media led to LeBron being so docile in that series, especially after the first couple of games, and especially in the fourth quarter. It was the media's fault for putting so much pressure on Bron. There was so much pressure. I mean, good golly gee whiz. It's funny because whenever we make, like, people who watch Michael Jordan's career, and a lot of LeBron fans say, oh, well, wait a minute. Why is it that when Michael Jordan came out of a 17-month retirement from not playing competitive basketball, why did he struggle for 17 games? Not realize they just answered their own fucking question by asking the question. Why did he miss a full season and a third and three-fourths? Why did he miss a full season and 3/4 of another season and come out of retirement? And why was he playing at the same level? Can someone explain that to me? Huh? Whenever we say, he missed nearly 2 years of basketball, he was rusty, what do you expect? Well, but he dropped 55 points against the Knicks. True. He did. But outside that game, Michael Jordan was mediocre by his standards. I mean, like I said, Brandon Jennings in his 7th career game dropped 55 points in the game. We haven't seen a performance like that from him since. Shit happens. Michael got hot one night. Okay? Outside of that game, he averaged 25 points per game on, I believe, 40% shooting in the other 16 games. That's not Michael Jordan. That's more Kobe-ish. Okay? He was more like Kobe. Or even, dare I say, he was more like Carmelo Anthony the other games, as far as scoring and shooting percentage-wise. That's not Michael Jordan. Okay? By the time the postseason came around, he was a little bit better. He was starting to get his legs under him a little bit. If you notice in the Orlando series, he looked a lot better. But he still was uncharacteristic. But this video is not about Michael Jordan. Okay? Going away from deviating from the point of this video. The point is, I can make reasonable arguments as to why Michael Jordan struggled for a stretch of games coming out of a 2-year retirement. They'll say that argument. They'll say, oh, you're making excuses. But this isn't making excuses on the largest stage in the NBA, the NBA Finals. Okay, now you can make an argument, rookie mistakes. But LeBron had been there before in 2007. Now I would give him the argument then. You know, that was the first time he was to the NBA Finals. He was only 22 years old. I get that. But by that time, LeBron James was 26 years old. He had the media spotlight on him nonstop since the decision, since his free agency in 2010. He was the bad man. Remember in Miami, when he first got there, he embraced the bad guy role. He was booed on the road nonstop, especially earlier on in that season. When he get the basketball, he was booed. He was public enemy number one. Okay, you talk about media, spotlight and the pressure. That's pressure, okay? Now all of a sudden he's in the NBA Finals, and it's just too much to bear. It's just, I can't, I don't know whether, everybody expects me to drop 30 points to be Michael Jordan, even though I say I'm chasing his ghost. It's too much now. I can't handle this. The way here, this is your team. Here's the basketball. You lead the way. And Dwayne Wade had a brilliant series. He did. He had an excellent series. LeBron James was not even second in scoring for his own team. He was third, behind Bosh. And after the first couple of games in the finals, he was horrible. Okay? Now, this is where I have to go a little further with this. You could give me that argument that he wasn't himself offensively. He wasn't taking enough shots. He was deferring too much. But what does that have to do with his role as a facilitator and his role on defense? Because there were certain stretches when I was watching that finals, guys, and the conspiracy theorist in me was like, is LeBron throwing this series? What the fuck is he doing? Because there are many times when he was ISO'd against a guy he could take, a Deshaun Stevenson, a Jason Terry. This was LeBron in his physical prime. He was at his absolute peak as a basketball player. And he wouldn't take him. He would pass the ball up. Easily could have scored. Easily could have dribble penetration and got an and one, a foul, or with the foul line, or whatever. Wouldn't do it. Lanes was open. What the fuck is he doing? And, okay, if you are deferring to Wade, why did you still only average 6.8 assists per game, which is your norm? Or a little bit below your norm. Okay, if you had averaged a 10, 11 assists during the series, I'm like, okay, well, he's playing the role of facilitator. He's deferring to Wade, but he's still distributing the basketball. He wasn't even doing that. He was somewhere, as was the case for him most of the time, chewing his fingernails. You know what I'm talking about. He's doing that shit. Chew his fucking fingernails while the other guys are doing the dirty work down low. Get your big ass down there. Keep hearing how LeBron is so huge. Oh, he's 6'9", 290. Oh, he's 7'11", 358 pounds. Did you guys really know that LeBron is 8'4" and 598 pounds? All that damn size. Get your big ass down there and rebound like Larry Bird did. Larry Bird had a 28-inch vertical, but somehow he was able to average 10 rebounds per game. 10 rebounds per game. And that's with Cedric Cornbread Maxwell down low earlier in his career, and Robert Parrish, and Kevin McHale. Despite that front line, Bird was still able to average 10 rebounds a fucking game. LeBron had the likes of Joel Anthony down there, and you fucking still only average 7 boards? Get your big ass down there and fucking rebound. He's a lazy rebounder. Russell Westbrook's a better rebounder than this guy. He's 6'3", $180, maybe $190. Outscored by Jason Terry, 18 points to 17.8 or something like that. Outscored by Jason Terry. Jason Terry was shooting lights out in the whole finals, 49% to 39%. He was getting burned defensively by Jason Terry. Jason Terry exposed LeBron's top 10 supposed level defense. Deshaun Stevenson even had his moments against LeBron. I think he shot 54% from the floor in the finals, 56% from three. And not only that, guys were punking LeBron. Wasn't that the same series with Deshaun Stevenson blew in his ear? Maybe that was another game, but I thought that was in the finals when he did that. They showed LeBron no respect whatsoever. And on Dallas, Dirk Nowitzki, who had been criticized for so long that he was soft, it was a different Dirk Nowitzki that we saw during that entire playoff run into the finals. Dirk Nowitzki put his stamp on that finals. And it's because of that finals, it was because of his performance in that finals, that I said, God damn it, Dirk Nowitzki is a top 25 all-time player. At the very least, he's a top 25 all-time player. And that was the series where I said, you know what? I'm going to consider putting Dirk in rarefied territory. Before I'm like, Bob Pettit is such an underrated player. Nobody talks about Bob Pettit anymore. 26 points, 16 rebounds per game. The 1958 NBA Finals, if there were an MVP award back then, he would have won the MVP. Scored 50 points in Game 6, to deny the Boston Celtics their title. He was the only guy outside of Wilt to win a championship during the Bill Russell. Not only guy, but you know what I mean, superstar. He was the only guy outside of Wilt to win a championship during the Bill Russell era. I said, but you know what, man? Dirk is getting on that level at that time. And cumulatively, I've since, because of longevity, I've kind of pushed him ahead of Bob Pettit. Although I understand somebody say, you know what? Bob Pettit was more dominant. I can't move him ahead of Bob Pettit. I understand that completely. But Dirk put his stamp on that series. And that totally transformed Dirk Nowitzki's legacy. For a long time, after that finals performance or non-performance by LeBron, I refused to call him the best basketball player in the NBA. I remember we was on the podcast back then, right? Bruce Blitz said, because of that performance, I'll no longer, until LeBron proves otherwise, and I think after the next finals when they beat the Thunder, he reclaimed that title in Bruce's eyes. But Bruce, I'm not going to call him the best player in the NBA because he doesn't fucking deserve it. And I agree with him 100%. LeBron played like absolute shit, and there was no excuses for that. No media pressure. I want to hear that. Media pressure. You know what media pressure is? Magic Johnson, 1992 All-Star Game. Magic Johnson's playing in an environment where there's still a lot of ignorance about HIV/AIDS. A lot of people made it kind of known they didn't even want to play with him. They didn't want to touch him. He knew what certain guys were saying. He knew what Karl Malone and his so-called friend, who became his former friend now, Isaiah Thomas, was saying behind his back. Okay? He came up there. The whole world was watching Magic. And he put on a performance for the ages. Won the MVP award. That's pressure. Pressure is what most of us do every day. Get up, go to work, provide a living for our family and our loved ones. The same people that LeBron derided after that finals performance because he was so butthurt about criticism. The same people who criticized me to get up and live with their same problems while I live my life. What an elitist thing for him to say. After that, I've never looked at him in the same light again. Tremendous player, but a narcissistic, elitist asshole. But people, like hundreds of millions of people, in this country and around the world, billions of people have to live with normal, everyday pressures in life. Not to say that LeBron is, like he should have these pressures. But for him to have said that when he failed showed me something in his character. And you see it constantly on and on and on. Even to today. When his team got blown up by the Warriors, what's the first thing he said? He needs help. This is a man who can't stomach to fail. There's nothing wrong with failing. But LeBron doesn't have that I go down on my shield mentality. He's a front runner. See, Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, all these guys, even if they saw that they weren't going to win, they thought in their mind, okay, maybe somehow we can get a 4-point play. Maybe I can get a steal, passing inside to Kareem. Maybe we can make up this 8-point deficit in 20 seconds somehow. LeBron doesn't think like that. LeBron, okay, well, we're not going to win. I'm going to shut it down. But when they're high riding, when they're up by 15, oh my goodness. LeBron for 3, yes. Oh, LeBron. Oh, the fadeaway. Oh, LeBron. That's why he's a front runner. I don't respect people like that. So Isaiah, I know he's your hero and all that, but all in all, also by the way too, Isaiah, by you dismissing the Mavericks, saying that it really wasn't the Mavericks that won the series, it was LeBron choking, you're pretty much saying that you're countering your argument that LeBron had better finals opponents than Michael. You know that, right? You know you're saying that, right? That's a video for another day. In conclusion, there's no excuses for LeBron James' horrible performance in the finals in 2011. Now, he has since then had some better performances, especially 2012. 2013, he was bailed out by Real. I don't care what anyone says. Yeah, he scored a lot of points before that, but he choked in the waning moments of that fourth quarter, as he tends to do, before Real hit the biggest shot of his career. And in 2014 in the NBA Finals, in many stretches again, he was outplayed by Kawhi Leonard, which is a series that put Kawhi Leonard on the map, and the Spurs defeated the Heat. And LeBron saw that Wade was getting a little long in the tooth, and he ran his ass to Cleveland. Saw what was going up there with Cleveland. Kyrie Irving was becoming a superstar, and he ran. But that's what he does, man. But tell me what you guys think.